A lot of people get confused about what goes on a balance sheet and what goes on a cash flow statement. So in this video, real quick, I want to show you what actually goes on a balance sheet. And then in the next video, I will show you what goes on a cash flow statement. So a balance sheet is what calculates your net worth. So what is your net worth? Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. Your assets are things that you owe, O-W-E, and your liabilities are things that you own, O-W-N. So when you think about what you owe and what you own, right? So things that you can actually possess, things that you have a title to. So for example, if you own a car rather than leasing the car, if you own the car, that means you have payments that you're making towards the car. And once you finish those payments, then you actually receive the title to the car. Same thing with a house, right? If you have a mortgage payment, once you finish paying off that mortgage, then you now own the home. Not like renting an apartment. If you're renting an apartment, you'll never own the apartment because you are leasing from the owners, or if you're leasing from a house, right? You are leasing from it. So no matter how many payments that you make every month, you'll never own that particular asset. So you won't count that as an asset. It's the same thing with a car. If you're leasing a car, you'll never own that vehicle because you're just making monthly payments over 24, 36 months. And then you give the car back. So those are not something that you exactly own, right? O is what are those mortgage payments? What are those car payments? If you have any credit card payments, right? So those things will go on the balance sheet. Now, when you're talking about the actual amounts that go on the balance sheet, it won't necessarily be the what payments you're making. It's going to be the total balances, right? So what is the total balance of the, not total balance, sorry, the total value, apologies, the total, so as far as the asset, what is the total value of the house or the car, and what is the total balance that is being owed, right? So for example, a car can be an asset, but what is the balance of the loan of the car? Same thing with a house, right? You own the house, but what is the total balance of the mortgage loan that you have? The same thing with credit cards. Credit cards, you're going to put the total balance of the credit card, not the payment you're making, but the total balance of the cards that you're making, right? Or any other type of loan that you have, whether it be a balance of medical bills or anything like that, anything that you owe to somebody else. What is the total balance? And that's what goes on a balance sheet. You got the total value and the total balance, and you subtract the total value from the total balance, then you calculate your net worth. Statistics show that those who own property have 10 times the amount of net worth than those that don't own property. Why? Because property has a huge amount of value towards it. If you're renting an apartment, if you're renting a home, it's not something that goes on a balance sheet, right? So you're not able to possess that value that you can either sell or rent out to someone else, right? And so that's why a balance sheet is important. You think about the billionaires and millionaires in the world. Forbes magazine or Money magazine are talking about what is their net worth. This is what they're calculating. Another thing that will go on a balance sheet is what is the total value of your 401k. For example, my marker's going dead. What is the total value of your 401k or retirement, or if you have an investment account, right? The total value of that will also go on your balance sheet. So those millionaires, what is their stock portfolio? What is the total value of their company that they own? right? The total value of their company will go on as far as their assets, right? And the balance sheet on the liability side is, are there any loans that they're being paid out, any bonds that are they got to pay out to their investors, right? That will go on the liability side, and that's how you calculate your net worth. So that is a balance sheet in a nutshell. Assets is what you sorry, I did this backwards. I just realized that. Is what you own, and liabilities is what you owe. Excuse my dyslexia. So assets are something that you own, total value of your car, your house, 401k, retirement investments, and your liabilities is the total balance of what you owe. Balance of your loan, your mortgage, credit cards, medical bills, whatever, right? The total balance will go on your balance sheet. And then when you subtract those two, you get your net worth.